Hi, I'm Gift. I'm a digital designer, a brand strategist, and most importantly, to you, an author of currently 11 novels. At the time of this recording, it is July of 2025. In October of 2025, I will have released my 12th novel, Sanguijuela, a gothic horror tale about four high school graduates going on that one final road trip, only to find themselves fighting for their lives in a mysterious town that does not appear on any maps. It's Dracula meets the Texas Chainsaw Massacre meets the Dunwich Horror. Now, before we talk about that, let's talk about this month of July. It's a very important one for me because it's when this journey began, way back in 2018, my higher certificate year. I was in a bit of a weird place, didn't really know what I wanted to do with myself when I was finally done with school. I happened to be playing a lot of WWE 2K18 at the time, and I spent so much time in the Creation Suite. Just so you know, the WWE 2K games are probably the best series when it comes to just creating characters. Well, up until recently, there's been a lot of nonsense going on. But during that period, 18, 19, thereabout, it was some of the best stuff. And my mom, she saw a lot of those characters that I was making, which were actually characters that I had made so long ago, way back in 2014, sorry, when I was in ninth grade, and I was 14 years old, so you kind of understand my penchant for the dark. My mom saw those characters, and she's just said, you have to do something. You've got to do something with these. You can't just leave these. You have to do something. So I started a series of blog posts with one of these characters named Vator. This character, Vator, would go on these violent eradications of crime in his city. Eventually, when I concluded the story of the blog, I collected those chapters, edited them, and put them together as a novel, an almost 600-page novel, in fact. And it became my very first novel. And after that, I would write more books. Another one. And another. And another. And several others after that. You can find all of my work on Amazon as well. And on Honeyfeed. This 12th novel is the most important one to me so far because it is the story where my lifelong Christian faith and my lifelong fascination with all things dark and scary and spooky come together as one. Sanguijuela is a story where our main character's faith is tested at every corner, while at the same time validated. It's my first foray into this type of storytelling, and I know that a lot of Christian tales tend to fail because of the delivery of the message. It's like a sermon, and people don't want to read books for a sermon. With that being said, I've left this story in the hands of some incredible beta readers, so when we get to October, I firmly believe that the version of the story you will see will be the absolute best version of this story. But what's it about? What's it actually about? It also explores a dark femininity, because our two main villains are both female. It is very personal to me. As a human being existing on the planet Earth, I have obviously had several interactions with the opposite sex, many of which were wonderful, or otherwise mundane, but some that were not so nice. And also I've heard stories, the kind that don't really get a lot of media coverage. So this story takes a lot of those interactions, that some of them that I've had, some of them that some of my friends have had, or that I've just heard about on the news or online or in other people's stories, and taking them to very dark extremes. Now, this is not an indictment of women and girls. It's not me saying that I hate women. No, it is simply exploring the nature of the female predator from the perspective of male characters. These two main antagonists are predatory in ways that only women can really be, for the most part. And I believe when you read the story, you'll understand what I mean. I can't tell you too much, but you will be hearing a lot more from me and seeing me a lot more on this channel. So I pray that you will stick with me on this journey, because I believe that this is the most important story I've ever written for myself, because from here, I'm looking to level up in my writing, level up in everything, leveling up this channel, leveling up my various social medias, just leveling up in general. So I pray that you'll be with me and stick with me on this journey.